Hello, everybody. I am Hunter Radisi. This is a show where we drink alcohol and talk about comic book movies. We don't have a name for it yet, but with me today is my maybe co-host slash first guest slash friend of mine slash the machine slash the hardest working writer slash talented man that I have ever known.
I'm
Joe.
honored in all life. Hello.
It's Joe. I took too long of a pause. It's Joe.
Hello, everybody.
Joe, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do? The viewers, viewers, listeners. This might be on Spotify. Who knows? Your choice.
Right now, I'm making bad decisions. That's definitely what I'm doing.
Tell us what you're drinking, Joe. Tell us what you're drinking.
I am drinking a nice whiskey. I think it was a Jack Daniels, and I can't remember, but I have the bottle somewhere up there. The bottle's definitely somewhere in the kitchen. I can say that.
Is there anything in the bottle?
A little bit.
A little bit.
You know how this is gonna turn out, don't you?
Okay.
A little bit.
A little bit.
To myself, what's to say? Like to go with Hunter, I write on Murphy's, been there. It's gonna be 2 years soon. Holy crap. In August.
Yeah.
I write, edits, I've recorded a review. Hunter got to record. I did the voice recording for your review. That's Charles B's editing currently.
Heck yeah.
So it's I'm a busy. We have 2 other podcasts I'm hosting and doing. I think I need a life.
No, this is the life. This is what we do. As Andrew Garfield in the movie musical Tick Tick Boom would say, "This is the life." Boom, 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 boom. That was for all 2 theater kids listening to this podcast. You're welcome. I see you.
This is the life.
So what we're doing here today is getting a little bit drunk, tipsy, faded, smashed, boozed out of control, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to talk about a nerdy movie. The nerdy movie we're talking about in this instance being Iron Man, the movie that started the MCU, the movie that helped relaunch Robert Downey Jr.'s career, the movie that made Iron Man popular at all. Really a big turning point in the history of superhero cinema. And Joe is going to do his best to give you guys everything that happened, every insy-binsy detail that happened in this movie from memory, as he continues to drink. In fact, Joe, you said you have a bottle of whiskey near you?
Near me is somewhere, yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm
going to need you in the kitchen.
Okay, in the kitchen. I'm going to need you to finish that drink before you start talking about the movie.
Oh, crap. And they have to get more?
And then you gotta get more, yeah.
All right, wait, 1 second. You keep them entertained.
What you guys just heard was Joe lunging away to get more alcohol at my request. Wow, that bottle was so much closer than I thought it was. he had that bottle in 3 seconds, guys. that was so fast.
I got a fancy thing here.
I got $7 vodka, so it's not the same.
Well, the alcohol is not the expensive part. It's making it look expensive.
Exactly.
I always wanted, I always said if I'm ever like one of those bosses or have a career, you'll be like that guy from Horrible Bosses where it's like, he just gives him the guy the drink at like 10 a.m., forces him to drink, and he goes, "What are you, crazy? I don't drink at 10 a.m."
No, why are you even drinking alcohol if it's not out of a bottle that it looks like your grandma would be mad if you touched? Like, that's
true. Very true.
I said this the other night and I stick by it. I feel like the alcohol's got to come from something that looks like you would have gotten in trouble for touching as a kid.
So, I just regret the fact that you said I have to drink this before I start, and then I filled it up more instead of filling it up afterwards.
Yeah, I noticed you were doing that, and I chose not to say anything.
What'd you say? Are you being a wise guy with me?
This is
Here,
going well.
if it makes you feel better, I'll fill up my drink as well.
This is we call this dynamic podcasting.
We call this dynamic podcasting. Anyone watching at home is getting not a view of my apartment because I blurred the background, but my very fancy $7 premium 4 times distilled vodka superior, distilled from grain, bottled by the Black Prince Distillery in Baltimore, Maryland. 40% alcohol by volume. Parentheses 80 proof. So,
damn.
All right, Joe. Have you finished that glass yet?
Wait. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everybody.
Oh my God.
King, a champion.
Woo!
Just an absolute trooper. I've never seen anyone. No, I'm kidding. I've seen a lot of people do that, but
I don't know any alcoholics. I just know people that have a drinking problem because they can't drink in one.
Okay, now that that's in your system, and don't forget to drink while you speak. That's wildly important.
Oh God!
Please set the scene. It's 2008. I'm sitting in the theater about to watch Iron Man for the first time. Yeah. They play all 20 minutes of previews. What happened? The movie opens. What am I watching? What's happening?
Oh yeah, there was something that happens.
Yeah, about 2 hours worth.
We get introduced to boy genius, Tony Stark.
Boy genius.
Well, now man genius.
Now man. We're introduced to man genius Tony Stark.
Genius Tony Stark. He's not yet Iron Man. He is still Flesh Man. He is he just regular Joe, very smart, breathes capitalism and is enjoying life. Best friend is like, where are you? He's throwing dice. Oh wait, yeah, he is throwing dice actually.
Yeah.
The ultimate nerd fantasy at the time. Oh, I'm lucky. I got money. And then Obadiah Stane, totally not the villain.
Totally not villain Obadiah Stane.
Totally not villain Obadiah Stane shows up, goes, dude, because everyone's like, this is the guy from Big Lebowski.
That's what Tony Stark was saying. He was like, this is the guy from Big Lebowski. Wow!
Like, wow, it's
just my dad's friend. My dad's friend is the guy from Big Lebowski.
I loved your movie, man.
What happened to your movies?
Who shaved your head?
I love you in the movies. It's so crazy you're running my company now.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
He's just, he's like, Tony couldn't make it. I'm taking this award. But and then we get didn't we get newspaper flashes of his parents passed away. We got that classic movie montage in the beginning where the writers were like, we don't want to give you a flashback scene. We don't want to give you too much verbal exposition. So what we're going to do is at this award show, we're going to have the awards announcer recap the tragic death of Tony Stark's parents via news clippings. Tabloid. Yeah. His parents died. Sad. I wish they had a big sign, with Ellen. It's applause.
A big sign that just said parents died.
Parents died. People in the crowd going, he's not Batman. What's going on here?
They're like,
that doesn't make sense. Oh, he's Egghead and he's Batman. It makes sense now.
Introducing Tony Stark, and then as he gets on stage, the screen behind him just says parents died.
Dead parents.
Oh no.
Oh, this is awkward. Oh
no, parents died. Okay.
Oh.
And that was very Yoda-esque at the end. It is Yoda announcing.
Stark, come in, yes.
We're hold on. We're 10 minutes into this and we've already got Yoda impressions going on.
Oh no,
dude! I would have been so good at the original Lego Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Put money in my bag. I would have been out there that's not even Yoda, man. That's too voracious. And you're like, no.
It's Yoda and Chewbacca's love child. Just a combination of both.
Yoda and Chewbacca's love child death sound. It's like, oh my god, make it stop. Okay, anyway, we were talking about
Speaking of
Iron Man, parents dead, he's accepting an award. Is he accepting an award?
He's accepting an award by not being there because
Correct.
Rich people don't care.
Hmm.
Non-roadie, former roadie. No, wait. Well, it is roadie. It's just not now roadie. Former roadie.
Former roadie.
The character formerly
pre-roadie, prody. I don't know.
Proto roadie.
Proto roadie.
Proto roadie is like, Stark, what are you doing? Come on, here's your award. Oh, I got a lot of them. Yada yada yada. Hey girls, clack. Then
hey girls, clack. I don't know what happened in that situation.
It's
but
the sound
I would like to imagine that Tony Stark is still a hero in this situation.
He is definitely. Wait a minute, he's a hero to all nerds. He bones Rooney Mara afterwards. If it is Rooney Mara,
I really thought you were about to say that he bones Rhodey, and I was like, you have watched a different. What website were you watching this movie on?
I'm sorry, because it was a thought. No, seriously, it was a thought. It was a thought, and I blurted it out. I did not mean it that way.
I'm fine.
Okay, but just understand, I didn't mean it the way it came out.
We'll take a poll on how you meant it with people here later after the show's over. But
hold on. Was it really Rooney Mara in this movie?
I think it was Rooney Mara. To IMDb.
You're thinking of Leslie Bibb. I'm sorry. I immediately.
Huh?
Yeah, Leslie Bibb was the first one. One of the Kate Mara was in Iron Man 2. She tries to serve him papers, and he says, "I don't accept things that people hand to me."
Oh yeah.
Look at me and my little brain.
This is why I drink.
This is why we drink.
You can't blame me. You blame the alcohol.
Blame the alcohol. Yeah, no. It's fully the alcohol's fault. Anyway, please continue.
So we're continuing. Gwyneth Paltrow shows up, calls out the lady mistress. They have a little cat fight. Jarvis is in the background. Is like, could you guys leave? And then pretty much we just get some mingling. We're got like, hey, is that you, Pepper Potts? It's like, hey, it's me, Tony Stark. They're like, oh, they're building up the romance. Little zing.
Hey, is that you, Pepper Potts? Hey.
Hey,
is that you, Pepper Potts? Hey. Hey, girl.
Hey. This is why I don't write scripts.
Right. I think you should.
Trying to crap. I actually didn't watch the movie for this, so I'm prepared to know how it goes.
For anyone sitting at home, I hope that everyone who comes on this podcast has maybe they've never seen the movie. I don't know. But this is gonna be fun. Please continue.
They just expect the script to go, hey, how you doing? Hey girl.
Pepper Potts, what's up, girl? And they're like, this relaunched his career? What's going on? This
is the big seller? Wow, MCU
parents
started
died.
different.
Parents died. Hey girl, what's up, Pepper Potts?
You're trying to get rid of the whole Batman comparison with the whole billionaire thing, but then they have the same origin. Just one is a happy-go-lucky orphan and the other one gets depressed.
They have the same origin. It's just one of them was better at being an orphan.
The worst thing is one of them doesn't even have a butt
here.
Like, you got to think about it. Batman had Alfred. He actually had a father figure. Tony Stark had probably not villain stain.
Yeah, movie Tony. Comic Tony had Jarvis still.
Oh, he did have Jarvis. True.
A movie Tony literally built himself a friend. So, which is way sadder.
This is actually the most depressing story ever.
He built himself a best friend. His only good friend joined the military, and he built a new one.
Oh yeah, Rhodey. Proto Rhodey is doing fantastic. But then we do have friend Happy Hogan, played by Jon Favreau, director himself.
That's true. Are they friends yet, though?
They are. Well, they kind of, sort of. It's hinted at, but it's not the focus. I don't think it was a focus until Iron Man 2 or something. Because most of the film was on.
They race each other. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. But true. They do race. Yeah. But after all that, after the shicky Mickey mingle, they're like, hey, we got to show off a bomb because capitalism. They go to the
Right.
desert because more capitalism and
Well, it's 2008, so
it's 2008.
that's what we did
It's
in
like-
2008. We went to the desert and we showed off bombs.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a good thing.
People were like, "No one can buy a house right now." And he was like, "No. I have to go to Iraq." People were like, okay,
I got
cool.
this. I got
Cool,
this.
cool.
I'm gonna show them. So
Right.
he gives like the shortest speech ever by going something yada yada yada. My dad said yada yada yada, and then does the famous "I'm Jesus" move while everything in the background explodes.
Right.
And I always remember he had that extra little jacuzzi bar thingy where he got his drinks out from because that was really important. You know, that's why we start. That's why we start with Iron Man. We have alcoholism. He has alcoholism.
Everyone has. Everyone had. What was that show? Everyone has alcoholism.
Alcoholism.
Alcoholism. We all have alcoholism. Anyway.
We all have drunken problems.
We all have drunken problems. Anyway, Tony Stark is in the desert.
He's in the
showing off
desert.
his bombs.
His big bomb, you know.
His big
gotta show
ass
off.
bombs. Yeah.
Not compensating for anything. Don't. This is a family friendly movie.
Yeah.
And then,
except for the sex scene that just happened. But yeah.
well, yeah, family friendly. You know.
Mostly
Hey,
family
kids.
friendly.
This is how you were made. That's what the movie's doing. Family friendly.
Yeah.
Taking the parents' job away from them so they don't have to explain it. Just, you know.
Exactly. They let Robert Downey Jr. do the talking, and that's fine.
they let Hey kids, what you just saw is sick.
Yeah, there's a PSA in the beginning of Iron Man.
So then he's in this convoy and he's like having fun with these soldiers and making fun of the one soldier for doing the peace sign because, you know, he had no job with peace. Haha, capitalism. And then everything goes to shit.
Right.
Problem, he's still Flesh Man, no Iron Man.
There's no.
So-
yeah.
There's no protective hull, you know, except for a very expensive Prada shirt, but you don't pay for protection. You pay for excess, I guess. Bomb goes off. He wakes up in a cave. I'll do what Obadiah is saying. In a cave full of scraps.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
First, take a big step back and literally your own face.
The cave with a box of scraps. Yeah.
That poor man. It wasn't a Christmas miracle for him that day.
Nope.
I still can't believe that was him. I didn't even know until Spider-Man Far From Home
Or
that was him.
the listeners at home. The actor who plays Guy Obadiah yells at about box of scraps. That actor is also the star of your favorite Christmas movie, A Christmas Story. You know,
Peter
keep talking-
Billingsley. Peter Billingsley.
Billingsley playing something Reba, I think.
Yeah, that could be.
I don't know why. He has William Ginter Reba. I can't believe that just popped out of the back of my mind. His
middle name is Ginter.
It's
How much do you have to hate your child to be like, yeah, your middle name is Ginter?
It's not your fault. Don't with me, all right? Don't with me, Sean. Not you. It's not your fault.
So back to his story. He's in a
Please.
cave. He meets a friendly man, Yinsen, and you know, doctor saves his life. I think he puts like an electromagnet, like because you see like he has this big battery attached to his heart. Keep those little shards from the bomb go inside his heart. This is great for video. You can't see it on the audio, but I'm
Yeah.
just pointing at my chest as if I'm doing anything important.
anyone listening. Joe is making little hearts on his chest and then pointing at me.
Of course.
Of course. Anyway.
And so he saves his life, and then all of a sudden he's like, you know that big machine that my father once built, that arc reactor thingy? I'm gonna make it super tiny, as Obadiah would say, with a box of scraps.
With a box of scraps!
But in the meantime, we find out, oh no, the guys that captured him are the 10 Rings, and you know, every comic book nerd is gonna go, wait a minute, the 10 Rings sounds familiar. Well, it's a Mandarin reference. And anyone who watched Shang-Chi will know that there's more to the 10 Rings. Though they never explain that connection later on. I'm a little sad about that.
There's a deleted scene. There's a deleted scene in that is not in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and that deleted scene references the activities in like the Middle East and everything that happened with Tony Stark. We can pretend it's canon. We can pretend it's not. Anyway, Joe, back to you.
So
keep drinking, Joe.
I fill her up. So
you filled her up.
I fill her up. My father's coming through from Kentucky. Oh God, drink it slowly.
Oh my God, I keep forgetting that it's not just orange juice.
Just get more orange juice.
This is the last of it. That was the problem.
No. Are you an alcoholic? No, not by choice.
I screwed up, Joe. I got more vodka than I got orange juice.
You were planned for a very different party.
Anyway.
Speaking of not planning out things, so Stark randomly gets the idea, because it is a comic book movie. You know what the best idea is? If I can build a mini arc reactor that's pretty much a battery for life, I'm going to build a suit of armor.
Yeah.
So he builds a tanky ass armor that he can barely walk in, but he builds it. It gets sad. Yinsen sacrifices himself. Still one of the best mentor characters, in my opinion, in the MCU.
Oh, absolutely. In anything ever. Henson he's a G. He's a kid.
Right. Love his return in Iron Man 3. That was just such a great moment. Though I will say that was like the era of the cliches with he's dying, but he has enough time to say farewell.
Right. Yeah.
Better man.
But it was effective. They did a really good job with the whole like him being like, I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna go see my family. And then when he's dying, Tony's like, no, we're gonna keep you alive. Like, you're gonna go see your family. He's like, my whole family's dead. And Tony's like, oh shit, you were never planning on getting out of here alive at all.
That was still to this day, I think, the smartest twist in that like opening.
Yeah.
Because it was like he did, you know, it was planned from the beginning what he's gonna do, and it was like
his plan from step one was, I plan on like sacrificing myself to get Tony Stark out of here, and then I'll have done like an honorable thing with my last act, and then I can go be with my family in heaven or wherever he sees the afterlife as. And like that, it's beautiful. It's a very nice moment.
It was a beautiful moment. And then you know, as Marvel films do, after a beautiful somber moment, he goes out and just flamethrowers the shit out of people.
Right. Well, Yinsen's dead now.
Dead.
Yinsen had his moment, and we want to see Iron Man fry some people alive.
And then we get the moment he flies off. Didn't calculate correct. Kind of lands in the sand. Somehow survives. It's a comic book movie. While his armor's completely destroyed, he's just like, I'm fine. I'm good. Hey, bro.
We're good.
Hey. Oh no, I'm still in the sand. Luckily, Proto Rhodey got him. Proto Rhodey coming flying in. He's just putting up the peace sign.
I like the
puts up the peace sign, because before peace sign bad, now peace sign good.
Peace sign good.
And he gets saved. He's brought home. The guy's safe. Fleshman's happy. He gets a cheeseburger. Yeah.
I will like to say that during Fleshman's first appearance as Iron Man, I remember being 9 years old in the theater watching that movie for the first time. And when they shoot at him and all the bullets are bouncing off, and then he just goes, my turn, and then fries the crap out of him. That was the coolest thing that my tiny underdeveloped brain had ever seen. And to this day, like, it's, even though the MCU has technically done much cooler, like hypothetically cooler things since then, it's still up, like, it's still so cool. Anyway, he's saved.
It's iconic because he also like wasn't a big character at the time. Like we
wasn't.
Get that nowadays. And it's like he's this hero with the suit, especially now. You know, we're about to get multiverse shit, and back in the day, it was a dude in a tin can.
No, I remember specifically having a cover. Okay, so in 2007, right? That's right. Strap in, folks. We're going to Europe. We're going to Europe at a time. In 2007, I went to see Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer with my dad. It was very exciting. I remember I didn't think we were gonna get to go, and it was past my bedtime, and he was like, "Hey, bud, like we're gonna go see this new Fantastic Four movie that you want to see." It's gonna be great. I was pumped. Greatest thing in the world. Now I watched the movie, terrible movie. When I was 8, greatest movie in the world. And
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And I remember on the car ride home, we were like, that's really cool. It'd be cool if they made movies about more Marvel characters. And I remember he asked me, like, what are some characters that you think would make for a cool movie? And obviously at this point they had already announced Iron Man, but like 8-year-old me did not know that. And I remember saying to him, I think that an Iron Man movie would be so cool, but I don't know if like special effects are there yet that we could have a man in like an iron suit walking around. And then a year later, I was in the theater watching this. So yeah, it was pretty mind-blowing. So I didn't even think we were there yet, which is crazy.
Especially now with effects and everything. But like, you know, the thing is, we haven't even gotten to the suit because he's just saved. He's enjoying it.
We have the clunky suit.
Yeah, he's back in his like Prada, whatever, sitting there. It's like, I'm gonna go. You know, the best thing to do. You know, tip to anyone: if you are lost in a desert, saved, no idea what's happening, may have died, almost died, always hold a press conference. That's what Iron Man teaches you. Because there's like, what, 2 press conferences in this?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
God,
absolutely. Beginning and end.
Oh God, I'm feeling it.
I'm feeling it too, Joe. Don't you worry. And I'm the host. I'm supposed to keep this together, and I keep cutting you off because my drunk brain just wants to speak. Anyway, please continue.
I'm not gonna say what date it is because I still technically have work in the morning. So he to a press conference, and then without talking to anyone, he's like, you know what? War's back. Let's get rid of war. No more weapons. Let's do other shit.
Yeah, terrorism will do that to you.
Yeah, terrorism will do that. Around, you know, actually living through the experience and not being the guy behind the chair going, I'm making money. We'll do that. Well, of course, speaking of the guy behind the money, Obadiah Stann's like, he's just kidding. Stop it. He's you know, desert, little, everything's good. First hint, obviously not villain. Obadiah Stane is villain. And then you know, afterward.
Anyway.
Oh God, I'm feeling it. This is gonna be hell.
Wait, I'm gonna continue.
And then we're like, okay, we're going through all this, you know, all it's sad. They're trying to talk about it. Well, you know, Peter Potts. Pepper Potts is
Pepper
sad.
Parker.
Pepper Parker. They have the same shirt.
Yeah, they do.
The internet pointed out something's up. 2 people can't have the same fucking shirt. And then you know, she's like, oh, what's happened? And then, you know, instead of leading the company, because let's be honest, even though he's the CEO of a company, we've never actually seen Tony do anything CEO.
No.
In any of the films.
He's never done business, ever.
The only business we have is in Iron Man 2 when Pepper Potts has an office. That's like the only business.
It's really exciting. Characters. There's a lot of business talk for a movie that never does any actual business.
Just like, I have my pen. Business.
Business.
That's the important thing. So you have... God damn it! I'm feeling it. I'm gonna drink some water.
No, Joe.
So the natural thing.
Sign of weakness.
I didn't say I wasn't gonna drink. But the you know, anyone who goes through that kind of experience, the first thing they think of, I should build a fucking armor with weapons and just kind of blow shit up. So that's the first thing he does. It's like, you know, all thing is bad. And so we get a montage because it is 2008. You can't work without montages.
You should still not be allowed to work without montages.
Exactly. Montages are film.
Montages are cinema.
Martin Scorsese famously said, it is not cinema without a montage.
Yeah.
And we last another half of our audience.
Martin Scorsese famously said, I was birthed by the montage. And I will die by it. And the MCU has followed suit. And so did 2018's Aquaman. But anyway, please continue.
When I wrote the words, forget about it. I was thinking
when
of a
I
montage.
wrote the singular word, forget about it.
Forget it.
Which I believe is
God.
Italian for I'll do it later.
So we're with Stark. He's building his armor. He's like, you know what? Let's make it sleeker. Let's make it nice, tight fit. I want to feel like the metal chafing on my skin. Flesh Man becomes Iron Man. To be fair, more like Silver Man. And then he's like, all right, let's take a test flight. And he's flying up, and he's like, you know, he's still a bit of an arrogant ass. So he's like, let's fly up as high as we can, see what happens. Freezes.
Right.
Now, the thing is, he freezes up, falls down. So, in the meantime, we're like, hey, is Obadiah Stane a villain? Oh, no, he is a villain. Because he is working with the Ten Rings. He goes there, uses technology, because he uses the power of ignoring people through earplugs. Which makes me wonder.
My favorite. Hold on. Hold on. I'm drunkenly. Anyway, living in New York City, that is one of the greatest superpowers you could ever have.
Ignoring
the
people?
power of ignoring people through headphones.
Just like
it's amazing. It's a level of bliss that, you know, sometimes this is a secret, but sometimes I'll be on the train.
Yeah.
And I'm not listening to anything. I just have headphones in
Just
because I
in.
want people to think that I'm listening to things.
You won't hear if I scream out.
Yeah, they won't know. No one will know. It's amazing. Anyway, please continue. Please continue.
So you get the big reveal. Oh no! The guy who wants them to stay in the weapon trade is evil because he's selling weapons to the terrorists. Very much 2008 plot.
Of course.
Though still great scene. You know, he's very, for a guy who doesn't have an iron suit, he's very intimidating. But he gets a little inspired by looking at the armor that Stark built with the 10 rings and going like, I could do that, but bulkier. Let's be honest, the Hulk is not a thing yet, so it's a little confusing. Why is he making big armor, dude, if there's no Hulk? But you know, everything's connected later. Oh god, I move a lot when I'm drunk.
You weren't even moving that much. You just.
It feels like I'm moving.
I'm moving a lot when I'm drunk. Anyway, please continue. Please continue.
But we have the big moment. We have Tony sitting on his couch like a lazy fuck, screwing in his little gauntlet because, you know, he screwed something in the beginning, has to screw something in the middle of the movie. So
for anyone sitting at home, Joe just gave me a look that said, I really hope you get this. And I did. I really got it.
Like it was even worth pretending like.
Yeah, no, it wasn't too over the top. It was really artful. I was actually really impressed by it because it wasn't that over the top, but it was very clear. And I like that.
I'm a subtle motherfucker.
He's subtle, and also not at all subtle. Anyway,
it's about finding a balance.
So yeah,
Tony's sitting in his living room. Rich ass dude doesn't have to worry about getting a paycheck for the next week to pay his rent. And he's like, you know what? I see this news coverage about war in the Middle East. I should get involved. That seems like a great idea. Perfect idea. So he gets in his suit. Luckily, Jarvis was like, you know, Silver's kind of boring and shit. I'm so sorry, War Machine later on. So let's put some color on it. Let's put some red, you know, let's
put some color on it. You know what? Tony, you know what shit? Your taste in armor. That silver, whatever you're doing there, that is not fly, my friend. We need to put some colors on them.
Jarvis is not. You see, the thing is, Jarvis knows the Marvel universe. He read the comics that don't exist in this universe. So it's like, are you the Silver Surfer? Or are you Iron Man? Don't try to mix that up. Ain't gonna work.
Don't mess with me.
Oh, I will fight you on this shit. Let's put a little hot rod. I see that hot rod in the background all the fucking time. Let's put the red and gold on it. Let's just throw it on there. Even he goes, not gonna change anything. Bitch, it's aesthetic. Gonna wear it for 10 more films. You need a color. Silver ain't a color. It's more of a lifestyle.
Silver is not a color. Silver is a lifestyle. And you're not ready for that life yet. So we're gonna paint your armor.
Gold! It's about gold. So he puts on that color. He flies off. He just lands. Gets shot by a tank. Falls over.
For our viewers at home, he lands in the Middle East.
Oh yeah, he's back where he was. He's like, I got a better armor now. 10 rings. You got me. I got you. I'm gonna take you down.
Right.
So he lands in the Middle East. He's just there. And first of all, he sees people like, oh, we got hostages. You can't do shit. It's like, haha, I have a computer in my head. Well, in my helmet, technically. And it's like he calculates everything, shoots them all. I mean, let's be honest. He kills them. This is not Marvel.
No, he murders them.
What?
He murders them. He shoots missiles at their neck.
Murders them.
Like, let's not downplay this. We know what he did.
Because early family-friendly entertainment of murdering, terrorists.
You want to talk about comparing orphans? Cheers.
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 Speaking of killing, this killer bladder. I meant to say liver. Ignore that. So he's like,
I will not.
I got a targeting system. I'm going to kill all you guys nicely because I'm a good guy.
Right.
Save the other people. Hey, I recognize that dick. He's gone. So we got one guy gone. So
hey, I recognize that dick. Hey,
you have to have a callback. So then he flies off. For somehow a tank, like it's a random tank, shoots this dude down while flying in the sky faster than whatever max speed. Falls to the ground. Uses the dinkiest of little thing, little gun. Tank explodes. Superhero shot. He walks away from the explosion because he's cool. Though to be fair, he's in an iron suit, which technically protects him anyway. So he's not literally like the other dudes that are like walking away with nothing on. He's like, haha, I'm cool. He could have flown away, but walking away is way more cinematic.
Right. Because cool guys don't look at explosions, which we know.
Exactly.
Right.
Cool guys don't look at explosions. People that want to be blinded look at explosions. And
people that don't care about their retinas look at explosions.
It's so pretty. Where am I? Yeah. I can't. Hello. So then he flies off, and of course, the one thing you think he'd think about being. Oh, I just hit my microphone. The one thing you think he'd think about working with the army is that entering airspace he shouldn't be entering is a bad idea.
That's correct.
You think that would be it.
It doesn't feel like he thought about much.
No, he didn't think about it. And then he's chased by 2 American pilots where you're like, the fuck were you doing? The guy's down there killing people, shooting a tank to explode, and you guys are just flying around like, oh, looks like a Monday. But they're like more focused on this random dude flying in space and being like, he's a little small for an airplane. Right. No shit.
No shit. It's just the guy.
It's a dude. He's the size of a dude.
It's not even an airplane. God damn it. It's a person. It's the guy. It's not even an airplane.
They're flying like what? I think it was like F-22 Raptors or something. I don't know. I remember reading it in Wikipedia, and they're like, "Oh, that looks like an F-22 human." You know, the new human-shaped model they're building.
That's the new
we've all heard
that
about.
we have.
And you know what you do when you have a super high-tech, armored suit. You call your friend to be like, "Hey, awkward story. The thing they're shooting at, that's me. Maybe not, not shoot at me." So Rhodey's like, Proto Rhodey is like, "What do you mean that's you? What are you talking about? What are you doing in enemy airspace?" And he's like, just kind of felt like it. Kind of wanted to get even, murder some people, even though I've never killed any people and seem to have no ramifications of shooting people in the face with missiles. But normal everyday Monday stuff.
It's a normal thing where he shoots people in the face with missiles and then flies away, and then the United States military is mad about it.
Absolutely normal. They don't
Absolutely
really chase it. They're like, I do still love where he's just like hanging on to the one wing, and he doesn't even realize, the other guy doesn't even realize until they're like, the wing, is there something on my wing? Whoop! And
It's a
like,
good shot. It's a
"Hey,
good
it's a
shot
good
when
shot."
the plane like turns and he's on the bottom and he's like holding people at home. You can't see it, but I'm doing like my arm, like I'm holding. He's holding it. He's holding the bottom of the plane. Like spread eagle. I mean, Jesus.
Spread eagle.
He's, you know when Iron Man is spread eagle on the bottom of the plane?
Yeah.
You remember that part of the movie? That's the best
just-
part. Anyway.
The dude in an advanced armored suit is hanging on for dear life on a plane. Right. I'm like, please don't shoot me. So that happens. He technically takes down the 10 rings, but there are still some guys around. Actually, I realize now this is when Obadiah kind of shows up, because you can't have the reveal in the first act. That's not how it works.
That would be boring. No one wants
that. Would be boring. He's obviously not the villain until the second act. It's obviously not him who's the villain. Obviously so he shows up. Mysterious. So he takes the armor. My favorite thing is like the 10 rings. They couldn't build the frickin'. They got the guy. He was almost dead, and thought that without giving him any resources, he could rebuild the entire Jericho missile thing. As if that was, he could just do that on his own. Not like he has
box of scraps.
He's not like he has an entire company that builds the freaking missiles. Nah. We know capitalism works this way. Steve Jobs built all the iPhones. He does it on his own. You don't need a company for that to do that.
Not at all. No, he did it himself.
It's the power of a turtleneck.
I was gonna say it was him and that turtleneck, and they did everything. And then we just followed suit.
I built this with a pile of scraps and about 20 billion worth of money investment in people.
Yeah.
Scraps.
So,
but then they're like, you know what we can do? We can collect. For some reason, they managed to find in the middle of the desert, sand galore, frickin' Sahara Nomura. I'm gonna find randomly where the pieces of his armor are left, because that's the lesson you take away from being,
if there's anything you should take away from the movie Iron Man, it's that it's actually not that hard to find things in the desert.
No. See, they have like 5 dudes, not more, 5 dudes with like metal detectors going through the desert. Like Spaceballs combing it with a big ass comb and just kind of going through it. And then they're like super busy putting the pieces together as if, that's all you need. It's not like, the entire armor was built to function with that kind of battery in his heart. You can just kind of throw it around.
You can throw it around.
But we have to, that's the moment when like the big romance starts, where it's like, oh yes. Mm-hmm. I think she's his assistant in the first movie. That was her role. She is
still an assistant. Yeah,
I think she's an assistant.
She's still his assistant. Yeah,
because she burns.
Because in the second one, it's the second one that he's like, I'm promoting you from assistant to CEO because you clearly like know your shit. Yeah.
Couldn't you imagine that your entire career is I'm going to be an assistant to a CEO to becoming the CEO?
Right, and that's why she resists it, because she's like afraid of people like not taking her seriously because they think that Tony just promoted her because they were in a relationship. But like, it was because she's genuinely a skilled enough businesswoman to like do it.
Yeah. She was good at her job. So we're back to the story. The big romance starts at this big party. Stark is finally accepting that his personal assistant is hot, and he actually has feelings for her romantically, and he's growing as a person. We kind of realize as a viewer is like, hey, RDJ is really getting this role down. He's really good in this. And Stain is still a dick, kind of destroys most of it. You know, Stark's kind of getting the feeling something's up, something's wrong. I'm realizing I think I'm completely off balance, but the party's the big moment. We get to meet Phil. I want to say Phil Collins.
We're about to meet Phil Collins. Phil Collins. We're about to get to the part of Iron Man where the entire soundtrack of Tarzan is written.
It's just Phil Collins shows up, sings the rest of the soundtrack, and fills us in.
It's
on the
a really
thing.
beautiful moment. There is no rest of the movie. That's it.
The rest of the movie is just RDJ swinging from vine to vine.
And that's how we launched the MCU. It was really Phil Collins who sent that home for everybody.
And the worst
I remember I didn't even stay for the after credit scene because I was so busy crying
about Phil
Collins. I was so emotionally distraught that I went home and I found out like months later when it came out on DVD that Nick Fury had shown up to recruit Phil Collins for the Avengers, and that was a whole different experience.
It was just you're so focused on the whole Phil Collins experience because he's singing the song.
You forget that the message of the third act is that Phil Collins is Iron Man.
Yeah, it's actually, this is the big twist. RDJ, Tony Stark is an Iron Man. He was just test driving it for Phil Collins.
He made the suit for Phil Collins.
Because Phil Collins had the armor upgraded to have a microphone. Right. As Obadiah Stane shows up, it's like, I'm evil. And he goes, open your heart for the others. And then everything's good. Ending, wrap, everyone's happy. Yeah.
That's a wrap.
So.
But it's not a wrap. There's still more movie to talk about.
There's more movie.
Please continue.
So it wasn't, and then I woke up and realized, wait a minute, his name was Phil Coulson, not Phil Collins.
Right.
Still one of my favorite characters that just randomly popped up. Still sad about Avengers. Not going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We still need like that one viewer who wants to hang out. We made Phil Coulson.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're never going to get to the plot of this movie because I keep wanting to say things. But anyone listening at home who's a fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I see you. I'm here and I'm feeling it. And I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And, you're going to have to sit with the fact that it's a variant timeline. And I'm really sorry about that. But I'm learning to deal. You can learn to deal. Joe, please continue.
As Phil Collins would say, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the bum.
As Phil Collins would say, oh god.
the vodka.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is
the bum. And Martin Scorsese also said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is true cinema.
Yeah, absolutely.
He 100% said that quote.
He said, I don't like the MCU, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. slaps.
Yeah, slaps. He did work. Yeah, he said slaps. So S.H.I.E.L.D., Phil Collins shows up and goes to Potts and is like, hey, we want to talk to Stark. He's kind of ignoring my calls right now. Could you maybe hook us up? She takes the card, doesn't really do anything with it. So Stain is like, he's really on his trip. We gotta replicate the arc reactor. That big fucking thing, make it smaller. But his team's not that good, so we're getting hints that it's a bit bigger than the armor. It looks a bit like the proto armor we got. And then we're kind of like, you know, he's like, shit, I need an arc reactor. This isn't working. In the meantime, Stark is like, whoever's trying to replicate this shit, I'm like leagues ahead of you because I built a second one, motherfucker. And just build a second one. It's like Pepper Potts, put your hand in my chest hole here. And then we get like, ew, it's glittery. Ew, what's in there? It's like, well, probably mucus and whatever the rest is in there because it's literally a hole in his chest, Pepper. He will die if he doesn't have the new thing in him.
Of course.
And then she unplugs him. You know, like every other Microsoft service, he needs about 2 hours to update. But luckily, she plugged in a new one, so it worked a little faster. And then he rebooted. So now we have Stark with his new arc reactor, and he's pretty much updated to Vista at this point. It is 2008. We didn't have Windows 7 yet.
That's true.
Stark Vista, the new.
We're still on like the early Windows.
The early Windows.
We're on the early Windows.
Stark. Actually, now that I think about it, is Stark he's like the big weapon manufacturer, but he built an AI that literally has its own sentience.
Imagine if Steve Jobs was like, I also invented nukes. And you were like, oh, great. So Syrian nukes. I'm really glad about it. You have a wide range. Your resume is impressive, to say the least.
This worked out, didn't it?
That's crazy.
How convenient.
Nuts. Anyway.
So, you know, so he has a new heart. It's in his chest. And like literally not too long after, you know, Stain is like, wait a minute. Why am I wasting time having idiots build something they have no clue about if I just steal it from the guy who built it himself? And the thing is, conveniently, Stain has a machine that is the perfect chest size to pull out, you know, the arc reactor, which makes me think, was Tony sleeping and Stain at night went to his home and was like measuring out how wide the thing was?
Well, we all have a friend who knows our chest size.
Our chest hole size.
We all have a friend who knows our chest hole size.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Proto Rhodey was the one who leaked it.
It was
Prody. That's why he got replaced with real Rhodey.
Yeah, that's why we get Don Cheadle in the sequels, is because Terrence Howard didn't know how to mind someone's privacy.
Exactly. Kids, do not tell other people about the size of your chest hole. That's just not cool.
Don't do it. Don't do it. They'll use it to take over your business, and it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a messy situation for everybody.
You know, never trust next thing that Iron Man teaches you, never trust a father figure, because he was like a father figure to him, and then it's like, you know what? I kind of wanna power. Here's this weird machine. I'm gonna use the little
father figure. You have a stepdad. Fuck him.
Fuck him. He might be after your chest hole.
Never trust a father figure.
Never trust this father figure. They're always after your chest holes. Do you have a battery in your heart?
I love
it. Have a battery in your heart? Don't trust him. Tony Stark didn't learn the lesson to save himself.
No, he didn't.
Luckily,
it was sad and embarrassing.
Very embarrassing, especially because he was he eating pizza? It's like, this guy walked into my home, brought me pizza, and then it's like, all right, I'm gonna use this machine to take out your heart. That'll keep you alive.
That's nuts. That's a crazy thing. That's a crazy thing to do to someone. It's a crazy thing to show up and be like, I brought you pizza, and they get excited because of pizza, and then you're like, actually, I'm going to stop your heart. That's a nuts thing to do to a person.
If you want to get someone in an evil way with pizza, at least put anchovies on your pizza so they know that something's off.
Yeah, at least put anchovies on your pizza so they know you're a piece of shit.
Or never floats your boat.
Very
so
specific.
We have RDJ like, technically, I said earlier in the movie, this would kill me in minutes if I didn't have an arc reactor to keep me alive. So he has about an hour to crawl down into his basement
Right.
to put in. I was like, well, forgot about this. Pepper Potts, the connection. She put his old heart, the old arc reactor, in a little box that says proof that Tony Stark has a heart. So he crashes that, breaks the glass, takes it out, shoves it in his little chest hole. Whoa. And it's like, I live. So we have the reveal. Obadiah Stane, obvious villain, is the actual villain of the movie. Oh no, it probably is because every bald person in most films is a bad guy nowadays.
If you're bald, you can't be trusted.
No, you can. If I can see my face in your head, cannot be trusted. That is the rule of cinema.
It's the rule of cinema.
So somehow they're like, we know where they are. And then we get the little very convenient, I put it on the door, go around the corner, and it goes, poof. Oh, the door's open. Let's go in. So they walk in and you see like the teeth. Ooh, there's a big like chains hanging around for no reason. Ooh, even though thousands of people that Stane was forcing to work on it have suddenly disappeared. Ooh. Suddenly Stane can get into that giant suit of armor on his own without even really recognizing how he does it.
Yeah, of course.
The eyes are glowing. Run! So we're back to the story. Obadiah Stane, eyes glow up in the middle of the dark. Everyone who has not seen a horror movie goes, oh my God. And then he just wakes up, and then you're kind of, horror movie aesthetic. You don't quite see what's going on.
Right.
And then Iron Man comes flying in, gotta save the day. I'm flying as if I have a little problem by putting my arms in the back, flying around, figured out how to do it. Lands, Obadiah Stane shows up in his big-ass, Hulk-ass armor. It's like, hey, I'm gonna punch you. Punches his ass, flies across, lands on the middle of a highway. Family is like, oh shit, why did I knew I should have stayed home today. He catches the car, sets the car down. The family's like, this is weird. Never seen this before. I'm going to hit the pedal. Hits the pedal, drives over Iron Man.
Uh-huh. The family said, fuck this guy. They did absolutely run over Iron Man, yeah.
I don't know if...
Do you think they felt bad about it when he died? Like when
when he died?
When Endgame happened and it was in the news that Iron Man was dead, and they were like, do you remember that time we ran him over with our Toyota?
Years later. Do you think the fact that we ran over him was the reason he died?
Like 20 years later.
Like 20 years later.
The kids in that car are like professors at Harvard now.
So here's the mechanics of driving off of a person. Like they specialize. Yeah. They were traumatized by this experience. And they're like, we should have thought of this before. We feel terrible.
Absolutely.
Iron Man is dead, and I blame myself. Butterfly effect. So driving off of him, drive away. Big ass iron bulk is still like, I need to beat the shit out of you. In the background, you got a Fing Fang Fum. Fing Fang Foom reference.
We got a Fing Fang Foam.
Fing Fang Foam.
Fing
the best
Fang
product.
Faux Foam. I smell the blood of an iron bud.
Do you want to make your bath experience different? Buy Fing Fang Foam now for your bathroom experience.
Do you want to make your bath experience? Shop at Fing Fang and Beyond, where we
Fing Fang and Beyond. Just advertisement everywhere. Just like, are you tired of being small? Stilt Man has your answer.
Are you tired of being small? Do you want longer legs?
Just expand with Stilt Man.
Just expand with Stilt Man. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Marvel Studios, if you need anyone to make up like random fictional advertisements.
If you need anyone for Daredevil season 4, please call me.
Give us a call. So they're fighting, Stark is kind of like, shit, this guy, for some reason, even though his armor's a bit bigger, he's somehow having he's beating the shit out of me. Obadiah Stane does the classic, you know what's smart? If I show my face, because if he shoots me in the face with that one thing he used earlier, I'd be dead. Luckily, he forgot about that whole targeting system in his program. It's like, ha ha ha! I am Obadiah Stane. I am evil. No one saw it coming. Everyone in the audience goes, it was kind of obvious. And then, he's standing above the big ass arc reactor we saw earlier in the movie, because it's a movie and you need to call back the things that happened earlier.
Of course.
And then it's like, we're gonna take you. And then Stark is like, remember that time I fucked up and froze in space? I can do that again. This time, I solved the issue. Why? Because I got a hot rod color on me. Because it's a hot rod color. Hot means hot. Hot keeps me warm in space. Probably not the reason, but still, this is what I'm saying right now. And then they fly into space. It's a good reason. Hot rod. It's just, if you think it is, it'll be. They fly up into space. They're in space. And then Tony's like, did you ever solve that issue that you probably had no idea about? Because I'm the only idiot who'd be like, I'm going to fly into space. No. Bink. And Bink. Ironmonger is falling to his death. Falling down. Even though you can't hear anything in space, because
we're
that's
about 2 hours into this, and we have just said Ironmonger for the first time. And I am really glad that we finally got there.
The description took longer than the actual movie.
Yeah.
So
I'm really happy for us.
He's falling, and then they're like, I still have a second wind, bitch. And he gets up, beats the shit out of him. Luckily, he's on glass because no one looks at their feet anymore. Glass breaks. He falls into the arc reactor. He dies. Everyone's like, did he just kill freaking Jeff Bridges? And then, but
the answer is yes, they did kill Jeff Bridges.
They killed Jeff Bridges.
We thought maybe not, but it's been over 10 years. So it's probably a yes.
I hope he doesn't have any children. And then afterwards,
we're bringing back that Yoda Wookiee.
So Stane is dead. Everyone's happy. No one's sad about the fact. Iron Man doesn't reflect on the fact I just killed the only father figure I had left. I'm free. I get some. I get Pepper Potts. He still flirts with her, but every good movie needs to end on a press conference. That's as a marketing guy, that's what you learn. You need a press conference to end your film.
Wait, you said that he defeated Obadiah?
Well, Obadiah kind of defeated himself, isn't it?
That's true. How does Obadiah ends up being fried by the giant arc reactor?
Yeah, because he fell into it.
Well, he fell into the roof, and then Tony was like, Pepper, get in there and flip the switch. And she's like, but you may die. And he was like,
you may die.
And he was like, no, just do it. I'm a hero now. I used to make weapons of mass destruction, and now I'm sacrificing myself for the greater good.
I have plot armor. I am the main character. My name is in the fucking...
He's like, flip the switch. I still got 10 years. And she flipped the switch, and he survived, and Obadiah.
The only thing that would kill the Iron Man is the sentence, I am Iron Man.
The only thing that would kill Iron Man is full character arc. And that's,
exactly.
Exactly. That's what really did him in.
Like I said, don't trust fathers. Why did Tony Stark die?
Because he made peace with his dad.
Father.
The message of this, the message of this is, if you don't like your dad, keep not liking your dad. You'll live longer, and that's
the MCU teaching valuable family lessons here.
That's the moral of the story.
So everything's thing press conference. In the comics, who is Iron Man? We don't know. Proto Rhodey. Oh, I forgot. Proto Rhodey looks at the silver armor and goes, one day, baby. And then it never happened again.
And
Bye,
then
Terrence Howard.
War Machine happened, but there was no.
It was
Rhodey.
no proto Rhodey.
There was no proto
It was
Rhodey.
Rhodey. It was just Rhodey. So he's out. He's like, I want some of that. Marvel Studios was like, nah, gone. Don Cheadle, and it's like, yeah, Don Cheadle's the perfect choice. Let's get this done. And so we end with the movie.
That's how the movie ends.
Yeah, that's how the movie ends. Marvel Studio comes in and says, Don Cheadle's better at this role than you.
They're like, Don Cheadle's really good. And everyone else is like, wait, what the fuck?
What the fuck? So, you know, the actual ending of the movie is a press conference because of how you end the movie. And he's like, oh, you know, typical Marvel movie, typical comic book movie, super secret identity. Christine Everhart, who he boned in the beginning of the movie, is just sitting there going, was that you with the armor? Because you're the only person smart enough to build an armor that'll fit an entire body, and you fly around by the fact that you were also seen in an armor while you were trapped by the 10 rings. And he goes,
that was a really good Christine Everhart impression.
Thank you very much. I tried very hard.
That was really good. Anyway, please continue.
And it's like, is that you? And he's just like, I could lie. I have my press people give me this paper that I should read. I am Iron Man, and the movie ends. Yeah, but it's a Marvel movie. Wait. We got a list of people that are like important and shit. And then at the end of the movie, that back in 2008, no one thought, I'm not gonna sit through fucking credits. What do I look like, a pleb?
We all found out on the Blu-ray.
I did too.
We all found out on the Blu-ray.
And then at the end, Samuel L. Jackson shows up and was like, you heard about the Avengers and shit? And it's like,
yeah.
What does that mean? And then
that's the
years
exact
later,
conversation.
That's the exact conversation. Showed up.
You hear about the Avengers and shit? And Tony's like, what?
What? What's the fuck's an Avenger? I don't fucking know. And it just turns into Lil Jon goes, what? And then it's like movie over, post-credit sequence, the dawn of a new era. Marvel Studios like, I fucking hope this works out. But here we are. 12 years later, and we got more movies than ever before and TV shows. Pretty good. I think I got the big points. He got the big points.
Listen, if Joe did anything, he got the big points, and that's really important, I think.
Oh yeah, Phil Collins. Phil Coulson did say Shield at one point.
Don't you ever say Phil Coulson.
Phil Collins did say, well, we finally found a name. It's called S.H.I.E.L.D. We thought about it like 10 years earlier, but that was mentioned before.
This is so important for future episodes of our podcast.
Exactly. This is really super important.
Right.
I can't wait for our special episode all about the one episode where Coulson beats up some random thugs in a supermarket. Phil Collins by singing a song.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that MCU entry where Phil Collins beats the shit out of those guys in the supermarket?
Yeah, it's super great. He sings them to death. You know, he sings them to death.
And then Turk the gorilla shows up, and it's really fun for everybody.
Yes, the gorilla shows up just out of nowhere because the MCU.
Phil Collins is how Disney bought Marvel.
Phil Collins.
He's the missing link.
He was the Disney. That's how they met with Disney to be like, you know what? You should buy us. It was Phil Collins all along. He sang a song.
Collins played a massive role.
Kevin Feige sat down with Bob Iger with Phil Collins in the background singing a song about how mergers and business acquisitions are extremely important. And they went, you know, the guy has a point. You know, the guy has a really important point.
The guy does have a point. And it worked out for more than one franchise, which is crazy. But
exactly. Phil Collins was definitely there when Star Wars was bought. I'm pretty sure he was in the background just going, and then they're like, we should really do this purchase here.
First of all, that was some really good throat singing. Second of all,
Thank you.
that's exactly what happened.
As a businessman, I myself know.
As a businessman, I myself know that throat singing is essential to a sales pitch.
you need the Chewbacca sounds to ease people into the business making. Because if
Right.
you go in the background, 4 billion sounds like $2.
Yeah. If you make gargle noises with your throat, then 4 billion will sound like $2. And if there's anything that we've learned about business, it's that that's true. And I'm really excited to have been here for that discovery. Joe, are you done talking about Iron Man?
I think we have come to an end of the Iron Man.
Listen, guys, in the words of Joe, we have come to an end talking about Iron Man. And I'm really glad you guys could come along for this journey.
My drink's done too. I did it. Wait. Cheers, everyone.
Joe just finished his drink, and I finished quite a few drinks, if you couldn't tell. And we had a really good time. So, thank you for coming on this journey with us on Untitled Drinking Marvel DC Comic Book Podcast. And I hope that you join us for the next one. I have been your host, Hunter Radisi. Please follow me on any social media at hradisi14. I write articles. I do this shit. I do lots of other stuff. Give us a follow. Joe, where can people follow you? Say thanks to the folks.
Thank you for listening to me. I'm so glad to be canceled after this recording. It's an honor.
Yeah.
I hope everyone remembers Iron Man the way I do, and that's just how things are. You can find me on Twitter, if I remember correctly in my drunkenness, at thatabel, THATABERL. Thank you for listening. I apologize for anything I said out of my control.
To be clear, I hope that nobody remembers Iron Man the way that Joe does. And
I don't know what he felt, but I think Phil Collins was the best character in Iron Man.
all right. Have a good night, everybody. It's been great.